Hello and welcome to Chris Takakura's video tutorial. This is a video tutorial covering WordPress and just a basic premise of what WordPress can do for you in regards to how to create a new blog post. Now this is for my clients as well as anyone who is new to WordPress. So if you're an experienced WordPress user, this is probably going to bore you. So to just get started right away, this is the usual WordPress login window, and usually the login window is accessed through the URL, which I will type here just for you, with starting at wp-admin. Now, depending on where your WordPress install is, usually the root directory it's just /wp-admin. Or if it's installed in a different directory, for instance, my website, it's installed under the blog directory. It'll be blog/wp-admin. Ask your designer, developer, or anyone else who's in charge with your WordPress, and ask them what the login URL is. So again, I'm going to, as you can see, here's the WordPress login section, and then if you're in a private computer and if you want your computer to memorize your login credentials, you just hit remember me and just hit login. So after we log in, the usual screen that you're going to see is the dashboard, and the dashboard basically just shows various informations about your site. Like for instance, on my site it shows 22 posts, how many comments, it shows site statistics sometimes, and then WordPress news maybe, activity feed and whatnot. Yours might not look exactly like this, but it's okay. Sometimes plugins would enable certain dashboard elements to show up. So let's just get started. We're going to jump on to creating your first blog post. You can either hit this link right here if it's on your dashboard or write your first blog post, or my usual task is to just go to this sidebar section right here, which has many different options, but today we're going to cover just the post section. So we're going to go to post, and before we try to go to any of these sections here, we're just going to hit this link right here that says posts, and the default will be the first section of that column, which is all posts, and this window will show you all the posts that you have created so far. Now yours might be completely blank and it's fine, or you might have one on there that says hello world or this is my first blog post. Whichever it is, it will show up here. Again, from here you can do easy editing, like quick edit. Like for instance, if I click this, it'll let me change the title, the categories, and the tags. Not the content, but that's what the concept of what quick edit is. So you have full control here. Now to add a new post, you can just hit this button right here, or you can hit this button right here. It doesn't matter, it will take you to the same place. So once we hit add new, it should take you to this window. Now the blog post editing page is very straightforward in regards to what you need to enter to post a new blog. So as you can see, it says enter title here. All we're going to do is enter the title, so we can just put this is my first blog post, and this will be your title of your blog. And then let's pull up some content by going to Lorem Ipsum, and we'll just grab some dummy text just for demonstration purposes. Here we go. You just paste it on there. So let's just say this is our content. Now the WordPress content area is separated into two different views. One is called the visual editor, one is called a text editor. Now I don't have the tabs here only because I disabled it, because for visual editors usually sometimes mess the content up or mess the HTML up, so I don't want to cause any of that kind of problem, so I have it disabled. I highly recommend you to just use a text editor, only because as you can see the content here, the content could be very straightforward. You can copy and paste it from any Word document or just type it straight on here. For instance, I could type in my name is Christopher, and it will show up on your blog. I'm telling you this because you can also include HTML codes in here. Now I don't really suggest you to do so, only because a good designer or someone familiar with WordPress design would have the code embedded in there, so it would, the code will automatically tell WordPress what the typography should look like. But you can alter the typography on the text editor if you wanted to. For instance, I can put the bold tags on here, and it would just bold my name, and WordPress will read this as well as read the text without HTML code. So that's the basic premise in regards to adding content. Now, your WordPress install might have a section here called excerpt. All WordPress comes with it. Sometimes it's hidden, but the excerpt section is basically just like a little preview of your blog, and then following up with the content. To show you a good example of this, I'm just going to go to my site real quick. And as you can see, if you go to my blog, I have both excerpt and the content enabled. It's just for stylization purposes, as well as kind of giving my visitors a little preview of my blog. So this is the excerpt right here, and as you can see, it has a different typography treatment. And this will be the content. Oops. Here we go. This will be the content. So as you can see, this one is italicized, this one is not italicized, and this one's a tad bit bigger than this one because this is the excerpt section. So let's pull another copy here just for argument's sake, and I'm just gonna, since I have an excerpt option, I'm just gonna enter that in there here. Now that is done. This it's kind of weird, I know, but this is usually the beginning of the article. This is usually the actual article. I can actually move this up. Oh, maybe I can't. I personally feel like the excerpt section should be on the top because I was, just for to be less confusing. But anyways, that's not the most primary concern. So now on the next section, after you have your content down, you want to go to this publish box right here. And the publish box basically lets you control several elements in regards to publishing. First of all, we have this section here called status draft. Now on top of that, there's a save draft button. What that basically does is it saves a rough draft of your content. It doesn't publish it live or nothing. It just saves it into the database. Now in terms of the status draft, you can do a pending review if you're working with a team or whatnot, or if you just want to keep it on a draft, you can say draft. But in this case, we're not working with the team, so we're just going to keep it on draft. The visibility basically is it lets you set password protected blog posts. For instance, if I hit password protected, there's a little column that says password here. You can set your password, and then you can just choose who you want, which people you want to make it available to. Again, it's not really an option that I use too much because I don't really need to password protect it in my content and whatnot, but that option is there. Under public, there's a section here called stick this post to the front page. What this basically does is if your blog is not on the front page of your website, if it's on another folder or if it's on another different link, you can hit this button to make that post go to the very front. Now, this has to be enabled within your WordPress theme. I don't usually do this too much, customize my theme too much to allow this, but that option is there. Now, this section right here, private, basically means it's for your eyes only. Even if you publish it, no one can see it. So again, it's just a little privacy thing. Don't worry about these things right here too much because it sometimes won't be relevant to your theme and whatnot. Some of it is from plugins, and same goes for this purge from cache thing. Now here's a button here called preview, which allows you to actually preview your blog. So let's preview my content so far. And there you go. Here's an excerpt, and this is the content. And as you can see, we added the bold HTML text, and as you can see, this text is bold. So this is just a very kind of simple way of adding content. So we look at the preview. Everything looks okay. Great. Let's move on. And then we're going to talk about the categories. After you write your blog content, you want to assign a category. Now, categories do not come by default. The default category that comes with is called uncategorized. So you want to create categories relevant to the subject of your blog post. So for instance, on my page, I have a section called business, client resources, designers resources. So for instance, if this was a blog post about for designers, I would just hit that check mark, and then that's it. And I can hit the publish button, and it will assign, this blog post will be assigned to the designer resources. Now, you can actually hit multiple categories if you really wanted to, if it's relevant to the subject. And again, I stress that you should keep it relevant to the subject. So the option, you don't have to choose just one. From this section, you can also look at all the most used category list, just so it's much faster to find it. And then we have a section here called Add New Category, which if you type in, like for instance, I can type in video tutorials and then hit publish, it will assign itself to the video category section. And then the parent category, this basically what this does is that it will let you declare a parent of this. So if I were to select tutorials, this will be the child or the nested element of the tutorials. And as you can see here, website design is the parent, CSS and HTML5 is the child. And after you're done, you can just hit add new category and assign the newest category. Tags are kind of like the same way, although from studies, the categories get more dominant play in regards to search engine results. But you can also add tags to kind of help or kind of select and assign keywords to your blog page. Now there's a section here called choose from the most used tags. If you used tags in the past before, all these lists of tags that you've used before shows up. Now from here I could just click on this, and as you can see, it automatically adds all the tags that I click on, or I can add a new one, say video tutorials, or let's just say video, and then hit add, and I'll add that too. Again, tags are kind of like keywords. It helps with the search engine results again, but again, it's mostly more important to have categories established. Also, categories is for kind of like personal organization within WordPress and whatnot, and it also helps your visitors, for instance. Stay on page. Let's just open this in a new tab real quick. It helps your visitors stay with browse the content based on your categories if your theme has that function. So for instance, on my page I have a section called designer resources, and all the blog content based on designer resources will show up all on one page, and kind of ignoring the front page of your blog, which contains all your blog posting. So with that said, let's move on to kind of spicing this blog post up a little bit. We are going to add media. Now add media is basically the most primary reason for this is to add images onto your blog post. Now once you open and click this button right here called add media, this little window should appear where it's a really big window depending on your monitor size, and then you will take you straight to the media library section where it shows you all the images that you've used before. Now to upload a new file, you can go to upload files here, and then it says drop files where to upload. So you can basically drag your file into this area here to upload, or you could just select files and then browse your computer to find that file to upload. Now I'm just going to drag a picture here, and as you can see, drop files to upload, and then as you can see, it starts uploading automatically. Great. And then as you can see, once this is finished, and this is going to take a little bit because it's a big file. Oh, there we go. It shows you the little preview of what the picture that you uploaded is. So this is a picture of a little shrub or bush that I took a couple whiles back, and then I'm just going to name this forest just for the heck of it. Now the caption area, the title area, what this does is basically just give it a title for organization efforts in the WordPress blog, as well as just in terms of image. And then the caption basically is exactly what it is. You can caption your image by hitting writing your content in the caption box. So I'm just going to say forest by Chris Takakura. And you're going to see the result of the caption on the blog post after we're done here. Again, captions are something that's stylized with the WordPress theme, so most WordPress theme designers should style the caption, so you should be able to use it without it looking weird. Now the alt text, the most important element of this whole area, just for the purpose of search engine results, it also helps Google Images and image search and whatnot find your images also. But it's always important to add an alt text just in case. It's not exactly the best method of search engine results, but again, it's better than nothing. So I'm just going to type in something like forest by Chris Takakura, just to have my name on there, and then have the title of the photography work and whatnot. I know it's the same as the caption, but it's okay. The description, I don't really use this too much. It's again for organizational purposes. You can write on the description of your image. Now writing a description of the image really isn't going to show up on most themes unless there was someone out there that made it so descriptions show up on your thing. But most of my themes don't show description of the photo, so I don't really add this in. But again, it's also for organizational purposes because it does get saved into your library with a description and telling others what the picture is about. Now the alignment section right here basically aligns the image left or right or center based on how the alignment code is programmed onto your website. For instance, if I hit left, all the image that I'm uploading will flush left and the text will be directly on the right. If I hit right, it'll be vice versa. The image will be on the right, the text will be on the left. And it's just to kind of be creative with your layouts. And then this section, media file, basically what this is if the users or audience of your website is to click on this image, what happens? So if I hit media file, what happens is that it will take the visitor to a zoomed version of the picture that you are uploading. Now, depending on your website, it might be a floating window, or it might take them to a new page or a new tab or a new window. Again, that is set by programming. It's not all themes are going to be the same, and I'm going to show you the result of how my blog displays images in a minute. But again, the media file basically directly links to the media file. The attachment page will take you to a separate page with all your blog theme and whatnot, but just showing the picture. I never use this only because it just takes them to a new page, and I want my users to stay within the blog page or that blog post. Custom URL, you can set the image to go somewhere else. So for instance, if I type in www.google.com, when the users were to click on the image, it will take them to google.com. Again, not something I use all the time, but for today's demonstration, I'm just going to use media file. And then the size, you can set the size of how big you want the image to be in your blog post. So you can make it a thumbnail size, medium size, or large size. I don't recommend using full size too much because a lot of the times using a full size image that's too big will result in your website kind of looking messy or kind of clunky, breaking, whatnot. My website can handle this because it is automatically allowed to shrink the image to proportionally to the content's width, so I can choose full size. Although the actual physical size of the image is really big, so I will never really use images this big to post on my blog just because it will hinder loading time. But for demonstration purposes, let's just use it. Insert into post. Once you hit the click button, insert into post, as you can see, it shows you the code. Now, don't really, after you insert the code in, don't really go typing into the middle of the code or whatnot because it will break your code and it won't show up. So again, insert the code for me. Pretty much done. Let's hit preview and see what it looks like. Now, as you can see, here's my blog post, the excerpt section here. This was the title of our blog post, so everything's looking good. And here's the image that I used, that I inserted into the blog post. And again, here's the caption, by the way. And you see how the caption is treated. This is Forest by Chris Takakura. And here's the content. And then once I click this, because we assigned it to the media section, to link to the media file, it shows the zoomed version of the photo that we just inserted. So again, if I change this to go to a certain URL like Google or something, then what would happen is it will take us to Google. Again, this is the basic premise of how to kind of update your blog post. I hope this video was somewhat helpful. If not, you can also find a written version of this tutorial on my blog page. It's just basically called WordPress for Beginners, so please do look at that. And I hope this helped you out. Thank you very much.